right, everybody. Good to see y'all. Here we go. All right. Got a pen, Frank? All right, thanks. All right, guys. Good to see everybody. We'll be on in 1 more minute.
Do you know where headset is?
What's that? Oh, headset.
Ooh.
Damn. Holy cow, do you have one?
For now, take this. Sure, we'll see. Yeah.
There we go. Wow. We're good for that, just for now?
Yeah.
All right. You got anything?
Right back.
Well, hurry up. There we go. Good to see everybody. All right, here we go. How you feeling, brother?
Hanging in there, bro.
Yeah, me too.
Investigation by the Maryland Attorney General's office has not yet been made public. You can see information obtained via grand checks.
All right. Comes the beautiful weather, snow flurries, everybody. Yeah, we had a flurry out there. Here we go. Snow is likely.
Snow accumulation of less than a half inch possible. Tonight, partly cloudy, low around 30. On Sunday,
Less than a half an inch possible. Just enough to get her going. Here we go, everybody. Love it.
PJ's Roofing, when it comes to your roof, they have got you covered. Visit pjsroofing.com. I'm Jim Tice.
This is your Frederick Real Estate Update, a conversation about the regional real estate market with tips for buyers
All right.
and sellers. Your hosts, RE/MAX Results, Darren Ahern, and Presidential Bank Mortgages, Terry.
Hey, folks, welcome back to your Frederick Real Estate Update. I am Darren Ahern, bringing you over 20 years of experience in the Maryland and Pennsylvania area for all of our awesome buyers and sellers and everybody out there. And I also have with me the man, the one and only, the legend from Presidential Bank Mortgage, playing on his calculator, crunching numbers like crazy for us today, Mr.
Terry Kearney.
Woo! It's crunching numbers time, brother.
Quite an introduction. Thank you.
The one and only, roll out the red carpet. Here we go. This is going to be a fun-filled, packed
Always crunching
show.
numbers. Always crunching the numbers.
Yeah, I am too. You got me crunching numbers. All right, real quick, inventory, real quick, Terry. 295 is the active total amount of homes on the market, which is unbelievable because in any other time frame, we would probably be at about 600, 700. A balanced market is 1,200 homes in Frederick County. So we are way off the mark. We have a massive housing shortage of everything of sorts. Resales, 157. And brand new builds, 138. But what's really wild is like in the last week, it actually went below. So it means we had more brand new homes for sale. It was like 144. And we had like 139 resales. Second time ever I've ever seen more new homes for sale than resale homes ever in my career.
Get used to it. That's my thought.
Thank you for that thought, Mr. Terry. So that was real unusual. Average time on market, 52 days. So here's what we're seeing, Terry. We're seeing homes that in the last 3 homes came on the market yesterday, 12 the day before. So it's really radical. It's sporadic. But what I'm experiencing is that it's about as hot and cold as you can get in what happens when you put a home on the market right now for sellers. You either get a ton of showings and multiple offers just like that, like we were experiencing last year or 2 years, or it's crickets. You get a few showings, a couple, and you get nothing at all, and now you're sitting on the market and you are dead.
So what, is there a certain, let me ask you a question, is there a certain price range that the crickets are happening? Or is it all determined immediately whether the people think that the house is overpriced? Is it
Price.
all ranges?
It
all comes
well,
down?
high-end properties, of course, are always going to have less demand of buyers that can affordability that. And so that's a little bit of a different animal. But at the same time, you can price the home correctly. So it comes down to price. You're right. It's all about value, perceived value. And if you don't get that right, probably more now correctly than 2 weeks ago. We're going to talk about why coming up because of interest rates and everything. If you don't get that more right now than even 2 weeks ago, you are even in more trouble, which means it's more and more skill-based to know how to navigate and what's the best way to do that.
So more is bad, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, overpricing. Yeah, you're dead. And we're going to talk about why.
Okay.
Yep. Good question.
No,
All right.
Because, I'm seeing multiple contract offers.
Yeah.
But then I'm also seeing houses that are just sitting.
Yeah, 100 days, 200 days, all that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's.
Yeah. So here we go. Coming soon, 37. What? 37? We're looking for 100 or more.
Gotta shake those trees.
We may not see it go above 100 all year long. I might do a bet with you and win another trip to Hawaii. All right, pending under contracts, 465 right now. 465 homes under contract. But the problem is we've only had 269 sell in the last 30 days. 188 were the resales with an average time on the market, Terry, of 34 days. That is going up rapidly towards that 52 number, even more and more. That 52 number is not really going up that high as much as we normally would see in some markets, only because, as what I said, it's either red hot, gone 2 days, or it's sitting on the market for 100 days and you're dead as a seller because you don't understand what's going on and you're trying to figure out where the bubbles go up. So the median home price, it says, is $465,000. Oh, that is down $30,000 in the last 30 to 45 days, Terry. That is because of affordability and the price, the interest rate thing. That's what we've been waiting on.
Yes.
This is the backflow that I've been waiting for to kick in to show the trueness of, you had to be 3%, 6%, 9% less based on every 0.25% interest rate above 6.25%. And now these numbers are starting to show true. And I'm telling you, I was right on the money with that one. Sold to list price ratio is 98.5. So
that's dropped.
Yeah, that's dropped a tiny bit. It was 98.8 or so, or 9, and now it's 98.5. So we're starting to see that get back into 97 is about an average. Remember, body temperature at 97. So we're still seeing, that not quite catch up yet. It's lagging, but it's on the way. So I'm going to turn this over to you. Yeah.
And just to clarify, and every once in a while I do clarify this because that can get confusing. What that means is that if you're selling a house for $100,000,
yeah, you got 98,500.
On average, it's going to sell for 98.5.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's kind of the easiest thing to explain because that number can be, in 8 months ago it was over 100%.
Oh God, yeah. It was 101, 102. It was like a fever. So what's going to happen is this. Check this out. Because we still have almost half the homes getting multiple offers, pushing values up in a bidding war, that is going to sustain this number right here. When that dies down, this is going to drop like no tomorrow.
Okay.
Do you get it? Do you understand the correlation? That's exactly what's going to happen. All right. So let's take some time. I know we don't want to talk about this. But we have to talk about this, Terry. This is the elephant in the room. What the heck is going on with interest rates? Go ahead.
Well, can I start with some good news?
Yeah, the good news. Yes, I love good news. It's snowing outside today. Good.
Here's the good news.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is huge news, and this is really big, is FHA. So FHA is a great program, and FHA has what's called a mortgage insurance premium.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Go.
The mortgage insurance premium on an FHA loan has been 0.85%, which is the monthly rate factor, and that's been around for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So on Wednesday, they came out and they lowered that, which is huge.
Yes.
So it went from 0.85% rate factor down to 0.55.
Yeah. We're driving 55.
Yeah. So that's a huge, huge, huge number.
It is.
So people say, okay, Terry, well, what does that mean? What's that mean to us? Here's what it means. If you have an FHA loan, regardless of what your credit score is, regardless of how much you're putting down, 3.5% you're going to put down. But basically what you're taking a look at is you are charged a monthly mortgage insurance premium, and it's been at 0.85%. So we're going to take a $400,000 loan, okay? On a $400,000 loan, and this was the number crunching that I was doing, the monthly mortgage insurance premium
Okay.
today is $283 a month, which is a big number.
Yeah, it is.
Once April 7th comes around, so any loans closing after April 7th
Yep.
are going to be able to get the mortgage insurance premium
At 0.55.
at 0.55. And so what does that do? It goes from $283 on the mortgage insurance
Nice.
monthly to
Yep.
$183.
$100 a month savings.
$100 a month savings. And
Yeah.
you say, well, that's not a whole lot. Well, if you take a look at it, you're looking at about a $15,000 more buying power.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that's going to bring back a little bit of the buying power on FHA loans. Big news. We've been waiting for it. People say, well, why did they lower it? FHA and VA loans are two self-sufficient government agencies, okay? And they live off of the mortgage insurance premium that they get on an FHA loan, okay? So they've been doing well enough that they were able to, they're not paying as many claims on FHA. FHA hasn't been as popular in the last couple of years, so they're trying to drive the demand up for FHA. So it's a great thing for us to be able to offer that now.
Okay. Good stuff. I just realized during all this.
And the VA.
The VA, yeah, I was saying that came down too, right?
Yep.
And what is that now?
Fee, and
Yep.
that's going from 2.33% down to 2.15. So we're going to save the veterans some money. So as I said,
Good.
VA and FHA basically, they are reducing their fees, and they're not reducing them because they have to. They're reducing them because they can.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
And that's important. So that's going to help veterans. It's also going to help anybody going with an FHA loan. So that's the good news that we had this week.
All right. Before we do the bad news, I gotta apologize if you forget, Terry. You may have seen my thing this morning. I told everybody I'm going to give away 100 just to make things nice, and it's like welcome to the spring, and it's snowing out right now. We're going to give a $100 gift card away to anything you want. It could be Chick-fil-A, it could be Home Depot, it could be one of our local restaurants here, wherever you're at. We'll get our hands on that. We're going to do that. And Terry, what I was going to ask is, but I already let the kitty out of the bag, right? So what is the current inventory right now? Okay, the current inventory right now. So we already shared it. So anybody pays attention, next week, here's what I'm going to do, Terry. Ready? I'm going to give everybody a chance. Next week, we are going to give everybody a chance to win a $100 gift card. And all they have to do is call in. And whoever gets that number within 5, like up or down, whoever gets it within 5, I'm going to give a $100 gift card away. We're going to do that for them. How's that sound?
Perfect.
All right. Now, we talked about the good news. The MI and more insurance for FHA and VA loans have come down and all that kind of stuff like that. But let's talk about rates. What in the world happened this week and all that good stuff?
So if you didn't lock in, then you missed the boat. And here's what happened. December, January rates came down.
Okay.
Did they come down real fast? No. It was a gradual. They got down to 6%. Things were starting to be even quoted at, a little under 6%, 5.99, whatever the case may be. We were down around 6%. Then on January 3rd, as we talked about, the unemployment figures came out, okay? And that sent a jolt through the mortgage markets because the unemployment rate was supposed to go from 3.6 to 3.7, and it actually dropped to 3.4, okay?
Okay.
So most people say, well, gosh, that's good news that it dropped, right?
Yeah, jobs.
Created 500,000 new jobs. Isn't that good news? Well, not when you've got the Federal Reserve trying to break the labor market. That is not good news.
No.
Okay, that is not good news. So what we would normally think is good news was actually bad news, and the stock market took a major hit, and has been taking a major hit. And then so what's happened is normally, and I talked about this, most volatile Friday that we usually see is the day that the unemployment figures come out, which is usually the first Friday of the month. So next March 3rd, we're going to see, and that'll be a week from yesterday, so we're going to kind of see that number. But here's what happened. Normally you have the PCE, okay? And this is a index that the feds follow, and this is their favorite determination of inflation, okay? And the PCE basically is related to the PPI, which is the Producer Price Index, okay? And this is the number one thing that they look at for inflation, but it is the least talked about index out there. We always talk about the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, the PPI. The PCE basically is what the Fed uses, and it is very, very important to the Fed, but it usually doesn't wrangle the markets because the PCI and CPI come out and they usually fall in line. Yesterday, the PCE came out and the index was 0.6, which means the rate of inflation, the true rate of inflation, has gone back up to over 7, okay? So in the eyes of the Feds, this is awful news. So anticipating the bad PCE, okay, we had an incredible increase in rates, and now we're back over 7% in a very, 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 very short period. So in the last
Like in the last
weeks,
week or 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Okay.
So in the last 2 weeks, rates have jumped up tremendously. We're now at 7% or above. FHA is going to be a little lower, but the bottom line is that rates have come back. It's a head scratcher, okay? It really is. Anybody I've talked to, and so what this is happening in the market, Darren, and this is what's very, very important, is a lot of people out there that sell money, that are in the mortgage business, okay? Lots of people out there, my competitors, and basically what they've been doing is a lot of them have been originating loans, being very aggressive on the pricing, being very aggressive on the rates, trying to get as much business, but they're going out there at basically a loss, okay? So they're bringing in deals to where they pay the loan officer, and then they don't have a lot left to cover their overhead, but they're trying to make it up in volume, and they're trying to hang in there, okay?
Yeah.
But this number here shows that we're going to be in for a period where rates are going to be higher, demand will be there, but nobody's going to put their house on the market. If rates are at 7%, I'm not going to give up my 3%. So what we're seeing is a tremendous amount of people jumping out of the business of selling mortgages.
Talk about that a little bit. Wells Fargo, we all knew of, right?
Wells Fargo, we knew of.
So it's almost like you can't even get a Wells Fargo loan. So done now. So what else is shaking up in the mortgage business as far as companies are concerned?
So Flagstar, one of the top 25 companies in the country, they basically closed their doors at the end of January. Eagle Bank just announced, and Eagle Bank's a big player in the Maryland, Montgomery County, D.C. area. They just announced the same thing, that they're getting out of the mortgage side. So you've got Flagstar. Wells Fargo just took a bunch of loan officers on an awards trip, guys that were doing like $100 million a year, which is massive.
They're coming to you.
Yeah, they have basically been laid off. So you can read article after article after article.
Yeah, it's all public information.
The bottom line is if you're not backed by a bank and you're a mortgage lender, then it's going to be very hard to hang in there.
Yeah,
because you don't have the bank. We are backed by a bank.
Yeah, that's different.
At our bank, we are very well supported, and they're basically saying, the owner of our bank basically saying, grow the operation now, so when it turns around, we'll be fine. We're here to support you, but having the bank's money behind you is what's going to get us back to survive this time. So what I think's happening is a lot of the people that are not backed by banks, and even some of the ones that are backed by banks, are going to have a tremendous time surviving over the next 8 months.
Yeah. So I want to open up phone lines, guys. Hey, Terry, 301-694-9363, or you can text in a question. Our producer will get it to us here, and we're going to answer that for you. By the way, I want to mention I had 3 people in the last week or two, listeners of ours, that have called and appreciate our program and thank us. They said it's awesome information, and they've asked me to share some more information and us to talk about certain subjects and things, and so I've been jotting that down, and we're going to get to that coming up here in the next programs. But this is the hottest news. What we're definitely doing, guys, we're talking about the hottest news right now that we could be possibly talking about in real estate right now that's happening in real time. So there's 2 things I want to talk about that are really concerning to me on the real estate side of it.
Okay.
Number one, I got 2 settlements coming up. One of my listings, let's see, yeah. A buyer we settled this week and a seller this week. I have 2 settlements this week. Okay, so check this out. There has been a horrific amount of issues with them, and I'm going to talk next in the program coming up about the septic failure and this and fixing them and escrowing money and doing all these fun, crazy things and the roof thing and all this other stuff. Insurance company, both of them got denied insurance. We couldn't even get homeowner insurance on both until we got creative. I have gone through hell and back, man, with these 2 transactions. And then this 2 days ago, I just settled on a property in Newmarket. We had not too many issues, thank God. My sellers were extremely happy that they didn't have to go through a lot of this stuff that I've been dealing with all this other stuff I'm working on. But there's no transaction that's carefree. They're getting more complex. There's more involved. There's more craziness. It's just how it works. But here's what I want to talk about. 2 things. Number one, I was like almost nervous. My buyer, they got their loan approved and stuff like that. And that they like, is it going to get funded? Clear to close. Wait a second. Is we going to get money? Are they going to go out of business the day before settlement and you can't get your house? Terry, this is a real problem. This could become a real problem, right? What happens if somebody's loan is in progress and they're at Eagle Bank, Flagstar, this bank, that bank, who knows where, and all of a sudden it's 10 days or 2 weeks before settlement and they're trying to get final loan approval, and then all of a sudden the engine stops on the car. Terry, what's going on? What can happen?
So,
can they not fund the loan and it doesn't close?
So if it's somebody big, they're going to be able to fund the loan.
Okay.
They're going to be able to get it to close. They're going to be able to get it out the door. It depends on how and who it is. Okay?
Yes.
So if you're dealing with a broker shop, like we've seen quotes from brokers where they're only making 0.25% on a loan.
Okay.
Normal margins are way higher than that.
Okay.
Because you have to pay for overhead, you got to pay for compliance, you got to pay, and we're seeing some outrageous quotes. And the borrowers, if you're shopping, you can get a quote that's astronomically low, but you don't know if it's going to really show up at the settlement table.
That's the problem.
Do it on a refi, but do not take that chance on a purchase. And we have one right now that he was shopping everybody, and we finally just said, go.
Yeah.
Like it's not worth it. He kept coming back, so it was kind of like, okay, we're done. Fine, we can't, waste all of our time. And the agent stepped in and said, no, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he's got to settle. He's going to lose his deposit. He's going to do this.
Yep.
He's going to do that. So basically, if you are working with a lender, make sure now is not the time, in my opinion, if you have a purchase, to go out shopping on the internet, because you don't know whose money's going to be available in 30 or 60 days. It's that bad right now. And these places that are getting shut down are getting shut down with no notice.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah, that's what's scary to us. It's
So it
deja
depends
vu.
who it is.
Okay.
But most of the banks that are getting out of the business will be able to fund the loan and follow through with their commitment. But if it's a smaller broker that you found on the internet, good chances it's not going to happen if they close down.
Okay, so we want to hear from you guys. Text in your questions or call in 301-694-9363. Terry, my second big concern with all the interest rate and all this stuff that's going on is, like we said, the sellers are more apt to not want to put their home on the market even more, because why am I pay more and this and that? So the second thing it's doing for sellers right now is the big obvious. I have always said that the strategic plan of this pricing, the whole thing that is so night and day, please listen, is this. We based the baseline was like 6.25. I put it at 6.25 for the current market where it was at. Now that we're up almost 3/4 above that threshold, how that affects directly to affordability, to buyers, is that margin that you have to kind of compensate for within your asking price. That's how it kind of works, right? It would be with, like, you name it, that's just how it works. So what I margined was like 2 to 3%. So right now versus before, because the market as a whole has been flat, we've talked about this. Everybody's like, are prices going down? Are we losing values? Is it crashing? I've always said, I just did a video 2 days ago. No, it's not. That's not what's happening. It's like we're in neutral as a whole. Prices aren't going up. They're not crashing down. There's areas it's very granular. Now, there are places in the country prices are going down more than ours. But our market is very stable in a sense because of jobs and we're by the government. And the demand is here and all that kind of good stuff. So here's my point. Right now today, if I come to sell your house today versus a month ago, and now that rates are this much higher at this point, there's no factor of timeline adjustment, appreciation, or depreciation. That doesn't exist. All I'm looking at is the data in the last 30 days, not 60, 90, but if all I have is 90 days, I'm going to take an adjustment for that time frame, that it would not have gone up in value because we're flat, and now I'm going to take an adjustment for interest rates have gone up 0.75%. Where do you need to be, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, to be able to be competitive, to not be that seller that's on the market for 50 or 100 days going, why is my neighbor just listed their home and they got 10 offers or 2 offers or whatever in 3 days' time and I'm not getting anything? There's the difference. So you're going to need to be about 6 to 9% than you would have been about a month or two ago in your asking price. Now, a seller is going to say immediately, oh, hold on, Darren. Wait a second. The two thoughts come to mind is like, wait a minute, that's a decline of the market. The market's crashing. No, it's not. That has nothing to do with that inventory is going up like crazy, so you have more competition. So therefore, you have to price your home to be more competitive because you got a ton of homes in your community that are now for sale that work. That has nothing to do with that. You understand how that has nothing to do with it? It has everything to do. The adjustment is only based on that the market is in a flat market right now as far as value is not moving around much at all, and the fact that we're now compensating for affordability within the interest rates. We're not compensating for inventory and competition. That is a whole different segment of having to adjust for that, because that's more primarily based on my neighbor over selling for 410. They have the same house as mine. The neighbor down the street's 390. I have a half bath. They don't. That's that difference right there. Do you get it? Mm-hmm. So this is what I'm seeing right now is it's a different conversation because of affordability and interest rates going now to 7. You have to compensate for that to be attractive to the buyers to get those multiple offers or even get an offer. I know we're almost finished. We got 2 minutes. What are your thoughts?
So the question is, and 8 months ago, sellers were telling you what they're going to list, and the sellers, in my opinion, were more. Are they listening more?
Oh yeah.
Now, are sellers at all levels listening rather than dictating? Like the tail's not wagging the dog anymore.
Oh no,
okay.
no, we're not working with people like that because it's costing us thousands of dollars to list and sell a house with marketing and our time and everything. And smart agents are not going to allow a home to be overpriced now in general, because that's going to cause you to get out of the business faster because you're going to lose your shirt. Like, we make no money until the home sells, so therefore, why am I going to spend thousands of dollars of my time and everything on my expertise on something that's never maybe going to happen? The only seller that could strategize outside of like coming in to be able to get an offer or multiple offers, which is always better because they now get to dictate the terms and conditions of the offer rather than the buyer doing it with closing costs and buy downs and inspections and appraisals and you name it, and the dog and the cat and pizza for a year. So what happens is, so there may be a seller out there that says, yeah, but I want to start this. The neighbor was over, they sold over here 2 months ago, so let's start at this. But if we don't get an offer in 2 weeks, we're going to drop the price at that point and get with the market so we can get an offer. So, hey guys, thanks so much. Take care. Have a great, great weekend out there. Happy buying, selling. Tyrion are always here for you right here every single week with your Frederick Real Estate Update. All right. Good seeing everybody. Take care. I'm already getting phone calls, Terry. Holy cow. Here it goes. All right. We got a lot of explaining still to do and all that, but good to see everybody. I hope you guys are having a great day. Take care. God bless.